I'm Nate Spack, and today we'll be going through Chapter 9, Segment 4 of the psychology textbook. So the hippocampus is required to put some memories into LTM elsewhere in the brain, LTM being long-term memory. Declarative memory is simply facts and other information acquired through learning that can be declared, quote-unquote, also known as explicit memory. And non-declarative memory is memory about motor and perceptual procedures, which is demonstrated by performance. And this is also where previous experience aids in the performance of a task. To put it in simpler terms, declarative memory deals with what, and non-declarative memory deals with how. And finally, the medial temporal lobe is important for forming declarative memories and for depositing them somewhere else in the brain. People with Korsakoff syndrome have trouble forming new declarative memories. Korsakoff syndrome is a memory disorder which is characterized by both anterograde and retrograde amnesia along with confabulation, and is generally caused by a thiamine deficiency. Confabulation is just the effort to fill in a gap in your memory by making falsifications, and the mammillary bodies are typically the structure in the brain that is impacted in Korsakoff's patients, and the mammillary bodies are a pair of structures in the brainstem that receive inputs from the hippocampus. Brain damage can destroy autobiographical memories while sparing general memories. Patient case C is a man in Canada who lost all episodic memory after a motorcycle crash, but retained his semantic memory. Episodic memory is detailed autobiographical declarative memory, whereas semantic memory is just more general declarative memory. There are also three different forms of non-declarative or implicit memory as well. Skill learning, which is learning to perform a challenging task. There's priming, which is being more likely to use a word you recently heard. And finally, we have conditioning, which is simply just learning simple associations between stimuli. Now, what is the physical basis of memory? So, first off, an engram is the physical encoding of a memory in the brain. Plasticity, although it's a difficult concept to accept, has been demonstrated in studies with rats. Now, plasticity is the ability of the brain to change in structure upon learning new things. And a Hebbian synapse is a synapse that becomes stronger if it often causes the postsynaptic neuron to fire, and gets weaker if it rarely causes the postsynaptic neuron to fire. Long-term potentiation is the stable and long-lasting enhancement of synaptic transmission. The non-matching to sample test is a test where the subject demonstrates recognition of an object by not touching it, and the subject uses declarative memory in this test. This test showed that the removal of the hippocampus in animals had little to no impact on declarative memory, and on the other hand, removal of the medial temporal lobes resulted in animals with no declarative memory. I'm Nate Spack, and that's my presentation.